guys, so I just want to give a quick video to this whole fallout of this quote that Capcom put out recently. With the Exoprimal devs and all their infinite wisdom, they decided to retort on Dino Crisis and say once again, if there is the possibility of a collab chapter in the future due to demand, then we might possibly squeeze in Exoprimal X Dino Crisis into the mix, and we'll do something with that if there is enough people on board. Now already folks are freaking out because it's like, what the fuck do you mean? There is a clear demand for Dino Crisis. People talk about it every day, just like they talk about Silent Hill. What are you talking about? Now, just to break down a few things for people to understand. Number one, collabs are common with Capcom games. It's so common. Resident Evil has collab stuff with Street Fighter where you can get clothes, skins from there based on the characters. Devil May Cry collabs over with a lot of stuff. There's also the idea of Monster Hunter World. They had costumes for RE2 Remake. It was Street Fighter once again crossing over with Exoprimal because you can get like fucking cyberized Ryu and Guile, and they're in the game and they're coming to Exoprimal's roadmap. So this is not uncommon, and there have been collabs where games I'm not even like super big on. Like I used to play Monster Hunter, but not really these days, and they had a collab with some of these other franchises and IPs that I care for. So this is common with Capcom. Number two is that this quote is not meant to be taken seriously. It's very facetious, it's very tongue-in-cheek. It's not meant to be. The guy's talking like Leviathan, for fuck's sake, in third person. It's not meant to be taken seriously whatsoever. And them actually talking about Dino Crisis complements the IP much more than you think it does, because if, once again, we're talking about an extinct IP. Dino Crisis died. Exoprimal didn't kill Dino Crisis. Dino Crisis died when Dino Crisis 3 came out. That effectively killed the franchise. Like I said before, all this blame on Exoprimal only is relative on a surface level with references and putting in Majesty that looks like Regina. Clearly that's a plant. She has red hair. They could be setting up for something. That's my wild theory, chat. They have the assets from Exoprimal that could be built up to make like a survival horror game and show we have the dinosaur assets. We have a Majesty model that looks like Regina, just touch her up and she could be implemented into a new Dino Crisis remake. We don't know. But Capcom's comment was a lot more blunt and serious when they said if there is enough demand, and Swinson in the past saying Dino Crisis 3 sucked, why would we want to take another risk when we have Resident Evil that generates us millions of dollars with no hassle and it's a relatively safe bet? So we have to look between the lines and see why this franchise died in the first place. And like I said, Dino Crisis 3 was a franchise killer, so blaming Exoprimal for anything outside of the references to Dino Crisis is stupid. Of course we have Crisis modules, Majesty and all that other shit, but saying that, oh well, because of this game, and I know there's ire because it's not being remade and they aren't putting out Dino Crisis content, but I would say just wait and see what happens. Keep pouring out your demand, and like I said, the fact that they are acknowledging that this IP exists and that fans keep asking for it, I think that's what Capcom ultimately wants in the end. I think they are effectively trolling people to will this into existence, and when it comes into existence, hopefully a lot of people are going to be happy. And then it's going to also show that people kind of just try to shit on Exoprimal because they didn't get what they wanted initially. And like I said, I understand the demand for Dino Crisis and showing your opinion and voicing your enthusiasm to see it get like a Resident Evil style remake, but we also have to understand why Dino Crisis died in the first place, and it's because Capcom, you know, internally, they just don't want to take a risk on a survival horror IP that isn't promised to like sell them as much as what they have now with RE. And that's the sort of underlying problem. It is corporate greed, but it is a risk for them, and that's why they're not doing another one anytime soon. And they're trying to gauge people. They already put out a survey with Dino Crisis on it, and I'm sure people spammed the fuck out of that thing, so it's not like they don't see it. They know. It's just a matter of when and where.